All right, so there's one other question that I want to get to about this linear regression. I didn't want that video to be super long. Um, so this is if they use years. So sometimes like Delta Math will use years instead. And so it says it's the data showing the number of graduating seniors at Canyon Valley High and starting since 2012. So when we go and type this in, the year will be X, the graduates will be Y. But it's basically like in 2012, that is the very first data that they have, right? So they have in 2012 they have 340 um, students, but you don't want to actually type in 2012. We're going to use zero instead. Like in the first year or with the 0 year, when they first started this data set, there was 340 people graduated. And then in 2013, that's 1 year after 2012, there was 348. 2 years after 2012, which is 2014, 356. So 3, 4, and 5. So I actually want to type in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason why it's 0 is because that's the year you're starting in, and then 2013 would be 1 year since then. So what you want to use like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of the actual years when you go to plug it into Desmos. So that would look like this. You do plus table. It'd be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it would be 340, 348, 356. It would be 361. It would be 375. It would be 387. Zoom out again. You can see your data points somewhere. Hard to see, kind of hard to tell. I think they are positive. Yeah, it's definitely a positive correlation. Then I would do y1 squiggly mx1 plus b. All right. Anyways, um, so you type that in, right, to find the line of best fit. So the line of best fit automatically gets plotted, and you could see, it goes through the lines the best it can. That would be the line of best fit. And then you got your slope, which is m equals 9.17143. You have your y-intercept of 338.2381. And then again, most of the time, Delta Math is going to ask you to round to the nearest hundredth. So we'll round this to the nearest hundredth. And that would be y equals 7 is the hundredth place. Look to the right, it's a 1, so it's going to stay a 7. Put an X next to it. 3 is in the hundredths place. Look to the right, it's an 8, so that 3 is going to become a 4. So it's plus 338.24. That's my line of best fit. So because we used years, we actually had to we didn't type in 2012, we didn't type in 2013, we typed in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same thing goes for this question. It says estimate the number of graduating seniors in 2025. So we don't actually, well, first of all, it says estimate the number of graduating seniors. So number of graduates, that's what it wants you to find. So it wants you to find Y when X, the year, is 2025, because X represents the year. But you don't actually plug in 2025. Instead, you plug in, well, how many years has it been since 2012? So you have to do 2025 minus 2012. That's what you plug in. So again, 2025 minus 2012, which is 13 years. And so you're actually plugging in 13 for X. 13 years after 2012, how many graduating seniors would there be? Well, because it's a positive correlation, that would mean this. I use the slope, so it's 1, 7, but instead of X, I plug in 13 plus 338.24. And I plug that into Desmos, and it should tell me an estimate for the number of graduating seniors in 2025. So I do Y, or I could just do 9.17, 13 plus 338.24, and in the estimated number of graduating seniors in 2025 is 457.45. So one last thing I'll say is that because it's people, like, my answer has to do with like how many people will be graduating. Um, let's just keep it 457. So we'll say there'll be an estimated 457 graduates in 2025.